Hey guys, this is Corey B, aka Bing and I'm going to make a quick video today, kind of an instructional on how to take records and melt them into cool little bowls like these in your own oven. You can do it at low temps. It's a really safe and fun project, and I'm going to walk you through the steps today. I shot a video of myself melting these records last night, so I'm just going to do a commentary on that today. I think that's a little bit easier than trying to comment on it while I'm doing it. So let's roll. Hey guys, this is Corey B, aka Bing and I'm going to use the oven to melt some records.
So, what kind of things do you like to do at home?
Melt stuff.
These are some bowls that I made previous months. This was a Bill Cosby record, so I tried to scrub the label off, and you don't really even see it if you keep stuff in the bowl. This bowl was made out of an American Gramophone record. I'm not really too fond of the shape that bowl took, so I'll show you a little bit better process to make a better shaped bowl. So these are the records I used last night. I thought they were going to be a more jazzy feel record, and then when I played them they were just super boring. I just could not keep myself to leave them in my collection. They're in really good shape, as you can see there, but you can do this with a scratched record or a pristine record, as long as, I would say, as long as it's not a rare record or something you want to listen to or something valuable, anything like that, just don't melt those. But if it's complete garbage, go ahead and melt them. I melted the records last night at 250. That's what I read online. It said anywhere between 200 and 250. 250 worked really, really good. It did it really quick. The bowl you see that I put in the oven, I covered it with tinfoil, but you don't have to. I was worried that it was going to stick. It didn't stick at all. You don't have to cover it in tinfoil. I don't know. I just left it on there since I had it on there from before. And this bowl that I used is 6 inches, 6 3/4 inches. I drew a little dot right in the middle of the bowl, and then when I set the record on it, I lined up the record hole with that dot. This made sure that the record was going to melt evenly on all sides and bend around that bowl in an even fashion. I didn't want it off-centered and have one of the bowl's sides be much higher than the other. I also scrubbed my oven a lot for this video. The glass was super dirty. I didn't realize how dirty that glass was until I started filming. So the oven's preheated. I got it on an ice pan, an old pan in there, and I got the bowl, which was about 6.5 inches, and I got the record centered on the bowl. So next, you would just wait. Preheating the oven is good because then you'll know exactly how long it takes to melt each record. The record will take about 4 minutes to bend. So this is sped up here. It takes about 4 minutes to get nice and gooey like that. And I thought it was going to be sticky when I handled the record, and it was not sticky at all. So you don't have to worry about that. But I would say, for starters, use an oven mitt anyway. I don't want some people grabbing the record and burning themselves. There's Frank walking by. So this is the first pass I take at this. I took the record and I took my oven mitt and I tried to fold it down a little bit more, and it didn't work at all. This technique does not work to make a good bowl. When I pushed the edges down, it didn't really stay there. They just kind of popped right back up. I'm sure you'd have to increase the temp a lot for it to really melt down flat. But you don't want to increase the temp any more than really 250 degrees, because I've heard it can start smoking. So I took that bowl and I put it on top. That bowl measures 8 3/4 inches. I put it in the fridge and I let it cool, and I'll tell you why I don't like this method, and I ended up using a larger bowl for next time. The record bowl was too tight. I want it to be a little looser, to open up a little bit more like a bowl would, and not have edges that are straight up and down. So I do not recommend using that bowl. I would use a bowl the next size up, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Yeah, see, that's a little bit too tight. I guess if that's what you're going for, you can leave it. I didn't really like it when it cooled. There wasn't a lot of room in the bowl. So I'm heading over here to the fridge. I throw it in there for, it really only takes 3 or 4 minutes for it to get nice and cool, and it won't bend anymore. Going back to the oven, I think I speed it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and there it goes. Nice and melty. So this time, I took a bigger size bowl. These were all part of a set. A lot of people have bowls like these. And the bigger size bowl measures 10 inches. So that one didn't work. I didn't like it. It's too tight. So I actually remelt that one later and open it back up. So this time I take a bigger bowl, and it's 10 inches, and I push it over the top. And then I take that and I flip it, if I can get it under there. It's easier just to grab the whole cookie sheet and flip it upside down. While that bowl is cooling, oh, see, that's a much nicer size. I like that. I like that a lot better. While that bowl is cooling in the fridge, I throw my original bowl back in, put a new record on it. If you're melting a bunch of bowls for Christmas gifts or something, this process is very quick. It took me about 4 minutes to melt it and 1 minute turnover. So, I mean, you could make 12 records in an hour. That's the original one. It's all cooled. I didn't like it. It was too tight. Compared to a bowl that I melted before, it was a lot smaller. Wasn't happy with it. And you saw my male nurse action figure there. And that's about 4 minutes. It starts melting down there. There goes Floyd. And that's the bowl, the second one that I melted with the larger bowl. And it worked really well. I like it. So it's take 3 sizes of bowls, melt them on top of the small one, skip the second size, and then let them cool in the third biggest size, which I said was about 10 inches. So there we go. We took that 10-inch bowl, forced it over the top, flipped it upside down, take the little bowl out and throw that back on your cookie tray to melt the next record. Just like that, yep. Oh, I moved it over this time because I'm going to remelt that original bowl that I melted too tight. Oh, there we go. Nice and cooled. So that's melting it on the small bowl and then cooling it in the 10-inch bowl. I really liked using these records because it said popular music will never die on them, and I literally killed the records. I thought that was kind of funny. So here I'm showing off my bowls. I don't know what I'm doing here. There you go, thumbs up. And that's it. It's easy as that. 4 minutes in the oven on top of a small bowl to melt it down, and then take your larger size bowl, shove it over the top, take that out with the record in there, just like this, and then just set it in your fridge to cool. 4 minutes in the oven, a minute to transfer records, and then 4 minutes or 3 or 4 minutes to cool this. And then you have very nice record bowls, and they really impress. I took one to some coworkers, and they all raved about it. They thought it was the coolest thing ever. All right, that's it, guys. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this video.